Feel like we're just walked into an old room that's all like dusty. It has cobwebs everywhere. Just what happened? Oh, there's a dead body over there. I think that's Nikki G hanging out. Okay. Anyways, hey, welcome to Bloody Screen Podcast. I used to know the numbers, and I don't know what episode this is anymore. But yeah, we're still doing it. Just, we like had a month off. Call it a vacation. Call it, people got busy. Call it whatever the hell you want.
It's just a room full of talking skeletons now.
Yeah, a room full of talking skeletons. Though, it kind of, for a little while there, it was turned into like the room from The Last Crusade where I was the last Templar just hanging out in there. Just like, are you the one? Just hanging for whatever fucking reason. For people who may not know, I'm Brandon. Hi. If you've been hanging out at the site for the last month, if you didn't leave, yeah, you've been seeing a lot of me because, yeah, and maybe a little bit of Scott here and there. But I got with me Michael. Remember him? Yeah. Say hi,
yeah.
Mike. Yeah. They better remember you. This is the Bloody Screen Podcast of those hoping for the movie thing. That's, you'll see. The next time we do the Friday show, it'll be there. Just so people know it's not gone. It's just there, It does feel weird doing this again, though. I for a little while there, I was about to say, you know what? Am I just going to have to put an axe through it? I will say, though, people who go to the website of the Bloody Screen Podcast, you might see little updates. I will say we are getting rid of the audio player because I just don't feel like paying for that shit anymore. And it's, so some of our reviews may just disappear, and some of our early shows may just disappear. But all the stuff that's on YouTube will, because the YouTube player is free. I don't have to do dick for a YouTube player. But, I just don't, I'm Mike, this may be surprising, but I'm kind of fucking broke. Yeah. So, the money to pay for an audio, the MP3 audio bullshit, it's a little much for me. Isn't a little much? Any money is too much.
I think SoundCloud would be okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind switching to SoundCloud, but I would like to see if SoundCloud will allow me to take their shit to my site because, honestly, I'm a weird numbers whore, where I just like seeing the people on our site, which, oddly enough, I hate to say it, Mike, we had some weirdly high numbers on our site for the month of July when we weren't really doing any shows of any sort. When it was just being written reviews and maybe my ass talking on a mic, we were getting like 200 hits a day, which is good for us. Fuck you guys.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good for us, okay? I understand there's some sites like, ooh, we get 60,000 a day. Well, you get paid to do it. But anyway, what have you been up to? I haven't talked to you since the end of June or some shit.
Well, just been settling business, but aside from that, I'm just playing a lot of video games on the side.
Well, that's great. That's great. When you say settling business, honestly, I kind of feel like you went on a murder rampage or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was revenge. Yeah. You're sitting there like...
I had like a list, and
it is
someone I still need to cross out, but,
You're Xing off names. You're just, slitting throats in the night. You're the massive serial killer, but you're only hunting down. You're doing it for justice. Yeah. God, I wish I would even say I was anything that interesting. I've just been doing a lot more daytime drinking, honestly. That's kind of what I've done. I also, last night, I went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
how was that? Yeah.
I don't walk out of a movie too often angry, but I did that movie. I am a firm believer of trying to see movies before, you fully judge them. Because I've gotten on a couple rants about that shit. People like, fuck that movie. Fuck. I think you haven't seen it. You see the Michael Bay producing credit, and you automatically just say, fuck that movie. I'm like, no, go see it, because you know what? He's made a couple gems. Like, yeah, goddamn.
Give Johnny Knoxville a chance.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I didn't even want to believe it. Whatchamacallit? I didn't want to believe Nick when he told me that was Johnny Knoxville voicing Leonardo. I was like, he sounds like generic white man. How can you tell? And then when I looked it up, I was like, okay, that's Johnny Knoxville playing Leonardo. But, yeah, it was, I actually ended up sneaking some booze into the movie theater because movie theater booze is rather expensive. And so, yeah, I have to say, you'd think that beers would make that movie a little bit more tolerable, but it didn't. That movie just kind of made me angry. And I also found out something I did not know was a real thing. In my current state of Colorado, there is Guidos.
Really?
Yeah, like these guys, they had like the Jersey Shore haircut, the spiked hair, shaved around, spiked hair kind of bullshit.
But they had a tan too or something?
Yeah, the spray-on tan, the sleeveless shirt. And my friends and I, we, they would have whipped the shit out of us. We're a bunch of nerdy white dudes. We're sitting there. We immediately start making fun of them. We're just like, hey, you want to go to 69 Mutant Ninja? And we're just doing this as loud as we possibly can. I was like,
are you sure it's not like a new form of like a hipster or something? If they're trying to call people out.
I mean, well, being that they could, a hipster's generally, I can kick the shit out of a hipster. Skinny, lanky motherfuckers that kind of just, wear their ironic mustaches and glasses that don't, might as well be just the movie theater 3D glasses. These dudes were pretty built and wearing the sleeveless shirt with the spray-on tans, going to see...
fist pumping.
Yeah, the type of thing where I wouldn't go up to their face and be like, you look like a faggot. Because I would want to put on my running shoes then, because I wouldn't last too long in a fight against those fuckers. Especially if, a couple beers in, I would just start, wouldn't be doing too hot. But it doesn't stop me from making fun of them out loud and, just thinking, well, if they say shit, I'd have to say something back. But no, they're pretty stupid to not realize that we're making fun of them. They just thought we were just being, I guess, our best New Yorker Jersey accent we possibly could do. Basically, we were channeling our inner Stallone the entire time. But yeah, it kind of shows what kind of crowd that movie produced, because at the end of the movie where I was kind of angry that movie happened, that I was just like, wow, you guys didn't even get the fundamentals of storytelling with this movie. It got a standing ovation from the rest of the crowd. I'm like, okay.
I mean, were the action scenes good at least?
They were alright. The action scenes, I appreciate the kung fu type things, but it's a PG movie. It's PG action scenes, or at least PG-13, but I want to say it's PG. And they're PG action scenes, so they're not really like, ooh, ultra brutal, or even that really. They're pretty good choreographed, but they're, with all the plot holes and such, I'm just, yeah. But anyways, I'm getting on movies on our video game show. It was just like the only thing that really happened to me this week, besides me like working and drinking and, going to bars and stuff. That's about all I do, so it's not like I have any interesting stories. It's like I could tell a story where Nick and I got in an argument because he was supposed to be our DD and he's running red lights. I'm like, dude, no, don't do that. You run red lights and you get pulled over. Guess what? I gotta call a fucking taxi. I don't want to have to call a taxi. Do you think the cop's gonna let me drive home? No. So yeah. You do any interesting,
Not really. I mean, I beat a lot of games. But...
you know what? You mentioned games twice. Time for us to talk about some video games. What games have you been playing?
Been playing Dark Souls again.
Ooh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, I've been going pretty fast. I don't know what happened. I have a broken controller, but I've been just, scanning past, the whole entire game now. I think, 8 hours in, and I'm already on Orlando. It's like that castle town up in the sky or whatever.
Oh, dude, I'm still in the sewers, so you can't even... Yeah. I got lost in the sewers, and I'm just like, I don't really feel like dealing with this right now.
Yeah.
That game is... I can play the shit out of the beginning of Dark Souls 1. Let me just say, getting through the whole castle and forest, I can play the ever-living shit out of that. I'm just like, yeah, because I played it 4 or 5 times by now. Because, the first time I got to the sewers, I was a big old fat dude. Which is a bad thing to be in Dark Souls, because they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna be fat? Well, guess what? You can't dodge or anything like that. So, you could dodge, but you're just really shitty at it.
Or just like a tank or whatever.
Yeah, so then I decided to pick lighter armor, because I'm more of a dodging guy. I try to block for as most part. I get a nice shield, but, I figured out in Dark Souls, fun little tip for Dark Souls kids, heavy armor really doesn't do dick for the most part. It's not like you're going to get this ultra heavy armor where you can just take hits from any enemy. You get up to a strong enough guy, he'll just whip the shit out of you. It doesn't matter what armor you're wearing. But, what else have you been playing?
Beat BioShock Infinite.
Oh, yes.
I predicted most of it, so I wasn't as impressed.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I loved everything about the game, but then the way the story unfolded near the end, I was like, it's okay. It's alright. It's just not going to be as memorable as, like, Bioshock 1, so...
Honestly, I never predicted that ending, because that ending was pretty just fucking insane.
Yeah.
I got a hinted at it at certain parts, because we're being vague as fuck right now with this. But I love the ever living shit out of that game. That's one of the few games I've played like over 4 times just not within the year or so it's been out. I constantly go back to it just because I have a hard time seeing flaws in that game. I'm not saying it's the most original storytelling ever made, but
the soundtrack. It's
yeah,
really
oh
good.
god, yeah. It's doing something that a lot of other games aren't doing, and that's something I can appreciate. It's at least it's mixing great storytelling. It's focusing on single player. They don't even have a multiplayer in that fucking game. They just, fuck your multiplayer. And I'm with that. Fuck the multiplayer. What else you been playing? We got a lot of time to go.
I got Mass Effect Trilogy. I haven't even mentioned that. I played a shitload of Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason it's reminding me of Metal Gear Solid. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. There's no stealth in that. In Mass Effect. Have you only beaten or played Mass Effect 1, or have you moved on from there?
Yeah, only the first one.
You're gonna be very impressed with 2. I'm not gonna lie. 2 is my personal favorite, and 3, of course, everyone hates the ending. I've come to terms with the ending. I don't like it.
I heard it's like a DLC.
I think you got lucked out with the trilogy. Because I own the trilogy, but I also own my own copy of 3. So I never actually played the number 3 in the trilogy for the PS3. So I can't tell you if you get the DLC for free. I know 1, you get the DLC, 2, you get all the DLC. I can't tell you if 3, you get all the DLC.
Alright then. It's really good so far though.
That's good, because honestly, I hate to say it, 1's kind of the weakest in the bunch. It's actually the most RPG-ish though. It has way more to do with RPG elements and less action-y.
I was not expecting a lot of shootouts in the game, though. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, it's going to be more. The 2 and 3 become more of a cover-based shooter than a RPG. Like your skill trees shrink immensely. So I know I love how I say I like 2's really good, but if you're really into the RPG element, you may not like it as much.
But one thing everyone's complaining about is like item or equipment management, and that is a freaking nightmare.
Oh god, it pisses me off.
It took like an hour. I had to like listen to a podcast while like rearranging stuff, sell things, and I've already like reached the amount of credits, like the limit of credits. I think I have like 9,990 whatever. It's just reached the limit now, so I'm like, oh, what do I do now?
Yeah, I had so many of those Omni jails by the time I was done, because what the problem I had with it is those enhancements you could put on your weapons. Well, every time I deleted one, or turned it Omni jail or whatever the hell they went, it would put me back to the top. So I'm trying to get rid of all these 1s. I have these level 4s, and I'm trying to get rid of all these level 1s, and I'm scrolling all the way back down to the bottom. And that's what would take up most of my inventory was that shit. And it would drive me up the wall, so I'd constantly be like, yeah, you can't carry more shit, and you might have a good weapon. And the even better part is, if you happen to come up on one of these, you open a crate, and there's there's a new weapon. You can't just back out of the crate. You have to turn it into Omni Gel. There's no choice. Your inventory's full. You can't take it. You have to destroy it. I'm like, no, just let me clear up my inventory. I want to maybe it's better. And it just kind of drew me nuts.
And I'm also vaguely spoiling something, but when I've talked to people about how they saved everyone, yeah, you can't save everyone.
No, you can't save. In 1, you can't save everyone.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, it's a pretty old game, so
no one's gonna remember.
Yeah, it's 2006, so I think, or it wasn't 2006. Maybe 2007 or 8 was when that game came out. You're not. It's almost to the point where we can talk about
Halo 3 came out.
Yeah, it was close to that point. I fucking adored that game when it first came out, but honestly, I played 1 too many times where I can't go back to it and really enjoy it. I played the game 100%. One more game. Name one more game you've been playing.
Let me think. I think it was Persona 3. Yeah.
Oh wow, you went old school with that one.
Mm-hmm.
How is the Persona series? I've only ever played the fighting game, so.
Well, it's kind of like Pokemon for like teenagers. Well, actually, no, even teenagers or adults play Pokemon, but it's a more sophisticated and just, I don't know, matured version of Pokemon.
So it's Pokemon with teenagers.
Yeah, it's also pretty fucking hard. Like, it's tough.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
really tough.
That'd be one of those games, because I have an old PS2 that I have in a box in, like, my closet somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, I've been considering, using one of my GameFly rentals to rent some old games I missed, because, back in the PS2 era, I wasn't really a hardcore gamer, so I missed a lot of shit. I missed, I got around to playing God of War, but I missed God of War, I missed Devil May Cry, I missed Metal Gear Solid, all of those games I just mentioned I've gotten around to playing when they made the HD versions of it. But, I also missed, like, Persona, I missed, I'm trying to think of another game I would have missed that's a popular franchise.
I'm not sure if it would be, like, for you, because it's, like very hardcore RPG.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's one of those things where, if they ever get that, it on PlayStation, the network, or the PlayStation Store for real cheap, I may buy it, because they sometimes have those $1 deals. I bought a Siphon filter for, like, $1.
Yeah, I've also been playing that too, Siphon Filter, I think it's Omega Strain for the PlayStation 2. I got that
really?
out. Yeah, the PlayStation. It's like Dark Souls with guns.
Oh,
so,
is it? Okay. I never actually played Siphon Filter, so I was kind of, or not, was it Siphon Filter? I want to say it was. I never played it.
Yeah, I haven't played the PlayStation 1 version, but this PlayStation 2 one, if you die, all the enemies respawn.
Oh, God. Yeah, that is some Dark Souls rules.
And you don't regain ammo or anything.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of new shit. I dabbled in, I bought the Last of Us PS4 version. That does look, oh yeah, it looks better. It does look better.
I beat Last of Us like weeks ago though.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. Did you play on the PS3 and beat it weeks ago?
PS3.
Yeah.
I wish I had a PS4. So.
Yeah, I that's the reason why I waited, because when they announced it coming out for the PS4, I'm like, well, I'm sure shit not playing buying the PS3 version. I redboxed it when it first was released and beat it. And honestly, I haven't been playing it too often, just for no reason at all, really. I don't have a discernible reason.
Hey, what'd you think about the ending?
I liked the ending. I actually thought it was it was one of those games, my biggest problem with it is like 4 different times I thought it ended when it didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so there's times where I'm just like, oh, it's ending. Okay, I can send it back to, okay, we're still going. Okay, now it's ending. I'm just going to walk to this bill. Okay, no. Is it ending now? Oh, okay. There's about 3 or 4 different times where I'm just like, oh, okay, because, I blame myself because I redboxed it, so I was trying to fly through as quickly as possible. Honestly, I got to play it a little bit, but then the games I've played recently that I don't have a review out for, because I'm not going to mention UFC or Sniper, but I played the newest Street Fighter 4 Ultra Bullshit Edition. Has a fuck ton of characters. Just, I can't even name them all. There's so many. So put Street Fighter 4, and then add all the new characters. But the weird thing is, from what I saw, I didn't see I didn't see the prison dude. That was supposed to be the DLC character for Street Fighter Ultra or whatever. But yeah, I have to say, I played Street Fighter 4 and it seems like they upped the difficulty by like 100. Because
I think it's really meant for the fighting fanatics, people with fighting sticks or whatever.
Yeah, no shit. I'm getting my ass kicked. Like, I played on easy because I knew I sucked at Street Fighter. So I put it on easy. And I was playing through the arcade. I beat the arcade once. I was like, alright, I did it. So I'll go through it again with a couple other characters. And I was trying to go through it again. Started losing and losing and losing. I tried 6 different characters to beat the final boss, they do this horrible thing with the final boss where it's just, you beat him once, and then he just turns ultra fucking hard. Like, the first time he's just standing there with, his thumb up his ass, and you just whip the shit out of him, like, yeah!
Changes the color or whatever.
Yeah. Then he just, then he looks at you and just like, okay, now it's my turn. And he's just like, he knows exactly when I'm jumping. He's like playing against an actual human being. And then I made the decision to fucking put it on, then I put it on super easy. and I was doing fine, and then I started losing again. I don't understand it. I'm like, fuck, I'm just terrible at this game. Then I decided, fuck it, I'll put it online. Worst decision I could have possibly made.
Were there a lot of people saying scrub a lot?
No, I didn't have, thank God I had it on PlayStation. Not a lot of people have PlayStation mics. So I am so happy I had it. And I have to say, I got my ass whipped. I played about 3 times and I just was decimated. I was just getting, I was in a 2-2 trying to tickle fight them. I mean, this was just pathetic. The dude actually spam grabbed me. I was so bad. He just decided, this guy is terrible, and I tried to go up to, I go up to him, I would always get, one little slap in, and then he would just beat the living shit out of me, and bend me over and prison rape me. And I just say, you know what, I don't think this game's for me, as in, at all. Cause, my mistake was, I played Street Fighter 4 when it was released, and then I never played any of the others. I didn't play Super Street Fighter, and I skipped all the other shit. I didn't keep up with the series. So when Ultra Street Fighter 4 comes out, the assholes who just played Street Fighter 4, just 1 or 2 times, they don't exist. I'm playing against, Slapnut69 who just fucking, ass rapes you.
Yeah. So I think, back when Street Fighter 4 came out, everyone was, really excited, but, the casual gamers that were, excited when they got the game, they're realizing, oh, this is a fighting game. This is the big leagues. No fucking around here.
I got it because I was a big fan of Street Fighter 2. I still like Street Fighter 2 to this day. And so when I got Street Fighter 4, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And then, it had the same fighting game thing that they all have, where I got worn out on it. I can't just play a fighting game over and over and be like, this is amazing.
I think everyone's riding off a Third Strike, which is hyper fast. Fighting action.
I'm amazed how many times they re-released Street Fighter 4. Just, we added a couple new characters. I'm like, that doesn't count. That doesn't count at all.
Why not make an expansion pack or something?
I know,
but they just want to keep renaming it, so whatever.
Yeah, they just want to say Super Ultra. I'm waiting for Super Ultra Mega's Goo time.
Yeah, just like that Dead Rising.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Alright, We've gone long enough with our BS about games we played. Let's move on to the top 10, because, usually the top 5 is a bunch of remakes. Shit. This is for August 2nd, 2014. It's the U.S. top sellers. Alright, we should go with, a lot of these are not new games at all, so be warned. Number 3, God, it's for the PS3, and that's what fucked me up. Number 10 is Call of Duty Ghosts. For the PlayStation 3. Yeah. People
surprised
still buy
it didn't sell a lot. Oh wait, this is not the year round up, this is just for the month.
Dude, this is just for this last week.
See, I'm messing up.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Number 9 is for the PS3 as well as Grand Theft Auto 5. That's still selling copies. Number 8 is for the 3DS. It's Pokemon X and Y. You know what? You know why I'm just kind of shooting through these right now, Mike? Is because we have talked so much about these, same 3 games within the last, last 6 to 9 months. I'm just done talking about them. So, number 7 is for the Xbox 360, it's Call of Duty Ghosts. Number 6 is for the Xbox 360, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. Alright, now hey, it's time for games that, didn't come out a year ago. Number 5 is for the 3DS. What is
it? I don't know. Etrian Odyssey.
Oh, I don't know. You wouldn't have gotten it anyways. It's Tamagotchi Life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just I was expecting to get this one.
Tamagotchi's still famous?
I guess.
Game's probably good then, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It sold 16,000, which is kind of dick. I'm not gonna lie. Number 4 is for the PS3. This one actually came out this year, but it's just people actually bought it for some stupid fucking reason. What is it?
Damn it.
It's a game that's been, I'll give you a big hint. Okay. It's been re-released 800 times.
Oh. Super Street Fighter 4 or something?
No.
Oh shit.
Damn. Minecraft!
Oh.
So
Wow.
the PS3 Minecraft version, sold 18,000 units.
Selling strong.
Yeah. And then on top of that, it's the same game. Number 3 is the PS3 or the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft. Sold 24,000 units, and that just makes me laugh inside that people still apparently don't own this game. Like, yeah, if you like Minecraft, that's cool. I like wasting time too. But, you know, who's still being introduced to this game?
Babies.
I guess, is every single, is the 24,000 people that, units sold for the Xbox 360 version, was that just 6-year-olds being like, oh wow, this Minecraft thing's cool and new? It's like Legos, but, without your imagination. I'm sorry. I played Minecraft and I sort of understand it with people, but I'm just kind of like, by yourself?
I love Minecraft, I just gave up though. Yeah.
Well, when someone can make the fucking Starship Enterprise, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm gonna build a little mud hut and be like, I can dig downwards. That's what I can do, and that's what I do. So
people are making 3D printers and calculators.
God, I know, that's fucking crazy. They're like, oh yeah, this guy made a computer inside of Minecraft. I'm like, how? How is the code that open where you can make a functioning goddamn computer? But anyways, yeah, number 2 is for the Wii U. You should be able to get this one.
Crap. What is out?
It's the only game that came out for the Wii U. They don't have many releases.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Oh, damn! Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart. That's okay.
Yes, Mario Kart 8. It's one of the 3 games that come
highest selling.
Oh yeah, it's doing fairly well. I mean, it sold 31,000, which being 2 months or 3 months old now, that's doing pretty well. Yeah, Mario Kart 8. I'm pretty sure that moved some Wii U's. It's moved some more Wii U's than say Xbox 360s and PS3s. I'm looking at the hardware sales right now. But it's still nowhere up to the PS4. I don't even think it, or the, oddly enough, Xbox, it's close to Xbox One sales. Let's put it that way. Basically, Mario Kart 8 pushed Wii U to compete with Xbox One sales, but nothing's beating the shit out of PS4. PS4 is the top dog right now. It's what, motherfucker? You can't back up, And last but not least, number 1 is a game I've already mentioned, Last of Us for the PS4, selling 293,000 units, doing very well for a game that's just a game we all played last year, just looking slightly better with the DLC. So,
that being said, what else is on PlayStation 4?
I have quite a bit actually. I have quite formidable, now exclusive to PS4. That's a better question, because there's not too much exclusive. They have about 3 games off the top of my head I can think. You got Knack, you got Killzone, and you have Infamous. Those are the only 3 that are actually exclusive. But out for PS4, there's quite a few games. Out of my own collection right now.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein, amazing. You got Bound by Flame, which is decent. You have
there's Tomb Raider on there too.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Yeah, you are right. Tomb Raider. You got UFC. You got Murdered Soul Suspect. And
have you played that?
Oh yeah, that's fun. That is fun.
I heard it's a really short game though.
It is. I beat it within a weekend. Yeah. So those were just my collection of PS4 games. I didn't even mention them because you got Lego The Hobbit, you got the Metal Gear game. There's quite a bit out for the PS4. There's a reason to get one now. There's just I don't know. I have no other things to say about that. Just there's a reason to get one now. Yeah, so, alright. Let's move on to the news. You and me pretty much have the same amount of news, so I'll just say let's just go back and forth. So, I guess I'll start out with the big one, the big name, big thing going on right now, and it's kind of video game-esque, just being that it has a big old, streaming service. It makes me wonder how the fuck the PS4 is gonna work right now. But, alright, so YouTube, or also known as Google, has purchased Twitch. And guess what they did, Michael?
What?
Oh, they put in their wonderful little IP blocking mechanisms. So basically what has happened is they did that whole ID content matching, and some of their some of their some streamers' content's being blocked now because it's, you know, you don't own that property, asshole.
Or it's a freaking nightmare on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, it's honestly, like on YouTube, it's not terrible. Like if you're trying to make money off YouTube, yeah, you're probably gonna get pissed off. But like with when we used to do the videos before, that was something, folks. Real quick, if you like the bloody times, I'm sorry, we're just kind of done doing them. But anyways, yeah, but back when we used to do gameplay videos, they just would say we couldn't make money off them if we had content matching. They wouldn't like block it completely. They'd just kind of be like, no, you can't do that. But YouTube streaming, however, is a little bit different. Where if you have anything that's, you know, if you're streaming something on YouTube and it has some, you know, copyrighted bullshit, they'll just block your ass. And I think that's what they're doing right now with Twitch. And, you know, there have been a few developers out there like Riot Games who make League of Legends who have saying they don't want their shit being subjected to this. Because they, you know, there's a lot of League of Legends on Twitch apparently. I don't actually sit around watching Twitch streams, so I couldn't tell you. But apparently that's really huge on Twitch, and they're kind of saying like, you know, don't do this kind of thing. They don't block, you know, videos and stuff because they have, on there. I'm trying to...
Let the chat play Pokemon.
Yeah, let them play Pokemon. Alright, let me just make sure I don't sound like an ass right now. I'm reading a little bit more into the article, just to make sure I get all my shit correct. Alright, okay, so maybe, alright, just to make sure, so I may be wrong, but from what I'm seeing on here, maybe it's not the live stream that they're gonna block, but if it's, archived on Twitch, that's what that's what they're attacking right now. So you can live stream right now just fine, but the moment you start, you know,
yeah, I'm not really thinking about this at the moment because, like, also just Google plus, like, surrounding that too.
Yeah, there's just so much shit. And I agree with this article when they're saying this, just like, you know, why are they caring so much about this? Like, you know, YouTube is so up in arms about this fucking copyright shit. I understand they're trying to cover their own ass, but clearly no one came after Twitch for copyright shit. These game companies aren't attacking anybody from what I see. Nintendo takes the money from the YouTube people who, you know, do their videos. But that's about the only thing I see. I don't really see too often saying like, you know, you have a you did a broadcast of Arkham City. Warner Brothers owns that. Warner Brothers doesn't want you promoting their video game. And it's not,
or because of like one sound effect or soundtrack and whatever.
Now that has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something where, you know, and it's just, oh god, you know, it just doesn't.
Freaking anal about that.
Yeah, honestly, I just don't understand why YouTube, you know, besides the fact that, you know, Google, YouTube, whatever the hell you want to call them, they just want to own the internet. That's what it's kind of coming down to.
That being said, like, the videos can be reported regardless if it's, like, from a big company or not.
Yeah, I mean, if the big company has a problem with it, they can tell them, like, hey, we have a big problem with it. Instead, they're just self-policing everything. It just, you know, it's just bleh. But apparently, here's a good quote from it. They're using the Audible Magic, and if Audible Magic does not detect its client's music, then the portion of the VOD will not be muted, but third-party audio is detected anywhere in the 30-minute block scan, then the entire 30 minutes will be muted. So basically, with their, not when they're broadcasting it, but when they're putting in the archives, if you have anything that is copyright, your entire stream is just muted. Mm. So if you had good commentary or whatnot going through, you're just not being heard anymore. So yeah, that sucks for people who do really good on Twitch and have a lot of Twitch fans and all that. I dabbled in Twitch when I first got my PS4, but yeah. Honestly, I don't really know. I kind of want to hear from people who have the time on their hands to do that kind of shit. If you have the time on your hands to actually just hang out on Twitch and just watch people play League of Legends, let me know. Cause
with face cam?
Yeah. I just don't have that kind of time. I mean, go do something. Go on a walk. Go,
Of the hundreds of people playing Slender Man with Facecam.
Oh, God.
Yep,
And that
no,
burned out quick.
thousands.
Yeah. Or all the 6-year-olds played Minecraft on, streaming it. Why not?
Talking about the Yogcast.
Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, what's the news story you got?
There's an Assassin's Creed Monopoly game. I mean, I've just been looking, through the news and, there's just all these board games. There's, a BioShock board game coming out or something.
You know what the problem I always have with, video game board games or board games based on any other IP or other kind of property? Because I tried to play the Civilization board game at one time. They overcomplicate board game to the next degree. I mean, because in a video game, they try to make it seem like the video game in many ways, from what I see. And now, granted, this is not the same way with Assassin's Creed Monopoly, because I have no idea how the fuck that would work.
It's just Monopoly, maybe.
Yeah, is it Monopoly? Can you assassinate the guy who owns too much? If I get behind a guy in the board, can I just be like, I assassinate you, now you go to grave. Do not pass go, do not collect 200 coins, you go to grave.
Templar catches you, go to jail, or you're dead. I don't know.
I don't know how that one works, but yeah, with any other kind of video game, board game, they try to make it seem like they try to have similar mechanics to the board game. Like the Civilization one, they're trying to have certain mechanics that match the actual video game. You can win by technology, you can win by this. It was the most complicated. I was thinking it was just going to be like Risk, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that would be the most perfect, IP to be a board game or something I don't know, Sellers of Catan or something.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something similar to Risk. Instead, I ended up losing to a friend. I had this army and I just marched on his thing, but he had slightly better technology with a machine gun, and according to that game's rules, I actually didn't even have a machine gun. I think he had I think he had a fucking crossbow or something while I was still using bow and arrows. He was only slightly above me, but he just slaughtered my troops because the game didn't have a dice roll or something. It was just, you lose. And I'm like, well, that's not fun at all. Who's that fun for? So yeah, it was just bad. Call me old fashioned, I'll just play my fucking Risk and be a nerd. Or, honestly, I'd rather play my tabletop RPGs, because those ones at least are just made to do exactly what they do. And they're more fun. And you can just, roll
Put some work into those. So.
Oh yeah. I have never actually, I've played kind of just, I just played actual tabletop RPGs. I've never played D&D. Where it's where you actually have to have a character card and you have to have someone who has 800 different scenarios as the dungeon master going on. And
yeah, D&D is fun. You just gotta be committed. It's like going to church or something.
It's Sunday morning, time to put on our dress clothes for D&D. Actually, I would do that. I'm not gonna lie. BioWare lost another guy. Casey Hudson. Never heard of this dude, but apparently he was kind of the creative director, creative story director of the Mass Effect games.
Yeah, was he? It said he's BioWare executive producer.
Yeah,
I guess he can switch.
He's been in the creative process. Mm-hmm. Well, it just makes me kind of concerned for, maybe Dragon Age 3 or whatever the hell they're calling it now, Inquisition, because in the middle of the production of that game, the doctors left. The two top guys of BioWare, they left in the middle of production of that game. And then now this guy's leaving before the game's released, and I'm just kind of I'm really kind of weary about this game right now, guys. You're getting BioWare's losing a bunch of people. They're losing some people. I don't really like this right now. They're losing all their veterans. And maybe it's just me being paranoid. Granted, apparently this guy wasn't the greatest in the world. He didn't have the reputation as the doctors of being, the greatest storytellers out there. This guy was just kind of, I don't know. I'm reading the article right now and they have the person has some mixed feelings about this guy. They're just kind of yeah, he was the,
Oh, these interviews or the comments?
Yeah, he's kind of mixed because he did some good work.
He was an asshole.
Yeah, he did some good work, but he also is part of the Mass Effect 3 controversy. The big because he was the story director of Mass Effect 3, and people are the reason why they.
People were pissed about that.
Yeah.
And everyone's, like, in the comment boards, they're, like, saying, oh, good riddance or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know how I feel. I am indifferent about it, but I'm more concerned that, BioWare's, losing some veteran people.
Yeah, but the thing they're saying is that he's moving on to, like, quote-unquote, a new stage, so I'm guessing he's getting transferred or something.
It sounds like they're just trying not to tell us that he died. Like, yeah, he's on a farm now, with the other creative directors. And
with the rabbits.
Yeah, he's with the rabbits, look at the rabbits, Casey. It's like they're just lying to us now. I'm just, really? He's just gone to a better place? Like, what are you trying to say? I'm still on BioWare's side right now. Like, they're going a little bit downhill. Are you still, do you like BioWare games? I know you just got into Mass Effect, but.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with BioWare games. I like, KOA, so. Oh, okay. No, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah, that's my.
KOA, that's.
Yeah. KOTOR is my favorite of all the BioWare games that come out. KOTOR, then Mass Effect, then Dragon Age. I still have some weird love for Dragon Age. Even though 1 was the only good one and 2 was kind of just meh.
Yeah, still gotta play that.
I just play 1. Just play the first one and you'll be happy and you'll be like, oh, this is good, Brandon, you're correct. And then if you ever play, you're like, oh, well, how bad could 2 be? And then when you realize you never leave the city, you kind of get upset. So, what other news you got?
On the board it says unreleased Duke Nukem discovered in Library of Congress. And, like, have you heard of this? It says,
I have not.
It says Duke Nukem Critical Mass was developed for the Nintendo DS by Frontline Studios. But, okay, I'm not sure, but apparently they found, like, something from 2006. So it could have been, like, the old, like, alpha version of Duke Nukem Forever? I don't know. It
might have been. My kind of theory was that because those guys sold it to Gearbox. So I think that it might have been something they were working on early on and it just got trashed kind of thing. So, as you were saying, it was in the early alpha and it was for the 3DS?
No, it was for the Nintendo DS.
Oh, Nintendo DS. Jesus Christ. I don't see that really selling, like, at all on the DS. A Duke Nukem game,
Oh, actually, no. They had it for the Nintendo DS, but this was the PSP version.
Oh, so it really came out for the DS? There's a Duke Nukem game on the fucking DS? Are you kidding me? That just astounds me.
Never even heard of it. Yeah.
That's just so weird for me to think about because, DS, family, a family type of thing, family system, Nintendo in general, and then you got Duke Nukem that tries so hard to be offensive that it's just kind of pathetic.
I thought it was, like, more ambitious because, like, it's, like, a fully interactive first-person shooter. That's what introduced it to, like, I don't know.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. Early Duke Nukems, I like them. They're fun. They're like early Serious Sams. They're just fun. They're stupid hallway crawling shooters that have a lot of blood and like little one-liners and stupid fucking references that just, they're just dumb. But if you ever played the more recent ones like Duke Nukem Forever, that was dog shit. And it spent the entire game making fun of better games. Where I'm just like, really? You're making fun of Dead Space? You're making fun of...
It was very boring.
It was just,
was
bad.
Even the pinball game was boring.
Oh, God. I didn't like it and it got to the point where I just said, screw it, I'm done. And then, same thing with Serious Sam 3. Where Serious Sam 3, I got to the point where I just got tired of playing it.
Well, it's just like an arcade game though, right?
Yes and no. They actually came out with a full disc version, but, it is basically, they do try to add a story to Serious Sam 3, but the problem I had with Serious Sam, and same with Duke Nukem Forever, is, as some people have said, it is like a time capsule. It's like, wow, you guys didn't actually change the way these games play. Maybe call me weird, but call me a pussy, because I like my more modern day shooters where they're not just so much just like fuck you player one with everything, where you're just like, oh, we'll give you 800 bullets and stuff, but we'll send you 8 million enemies. Oh, at least that's how Serious Sam is. I haven't played Duke Nukem Forever in a long time. I don't think Duke Nukem Forever sent as many, it wasn't as big of a bullet hell game as, Serious Sam was, but I just don't like any of those games.
It was just slow. It was just so slow. I was just like, I never gotten bored playing a game except for that one.
I've gotten bored playing some games, I'm not gonna lie. There's, and some people, and that's usually with bad games. Bad games and boring games are such a challenge for me to try to get through. Like, I was trying to play recently, Remember Me. And that was just kind of a boring fucking game, and I didn't get through it. I ended up deleting it off my PlayStation.
I thought it was okay. It's just, it's just so I don't know, it's so, like, well crafted, but it's just so generic.
Mm-hmm. The fighting mechanics is what got me. Like, the story was interesting enough for me to want to continue, but the fighting mechanics were just so boring. It's like, build your own combos. I'm like, no, I just want to jam on buttons, and then she does her combos.
Yeah, let's get this going.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you really are bugging me down with this. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, moving on with the news. Let me just see if I can do segues. Speaking of combos, with a game with actually good combos, Sleeping Dogs is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. They say the game launches in October. So, that came out of fucking nowhere, but hello. As a guy who tries to fill up his gameplay queue with all the new games, I really hate it when they just do these, like, really just early announces, or late announces, like, oh, by the way, Sleeping Dogs coming out. I'm like, well, thanks for fucking telling me, guys.
I really like that game. It's just, the moment I beat it, it's just like, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So,
this one will come with more to do, though, because it'll have over 24 pieces of DLC that apparently came out with the game included with this.
So, like costumes.
It's probably going to be included.
I'd rather have 20 more hours of gameplay.
I know. Honestly, I think if you dick around more and, like, do this, I don't know if you did the side missions in Sleeping Dogs.
I dicked around. I was just like, hey, do all the side missions. I did them all.
Oh, see, I didn't do that, so I was just like, I just kind of said, fuck it, I want to get through the story because this kind of reminds me of, it's like the Asian version, or...
Like John Woo films or whatever.
As horrible as this was going to out me in my film nerdom, I was going to say the Asian version of The Departed. I was like, wait, The Departed was a remake of an Asian movie. Mm-hmm. Shit. It's going to basically be whatever the remake of the Departed was, or Departed remake was. Basically, it's like that original film. You got a cop undercover who's trying to take down the, triad from the inside.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more dark. I mean, it could have, I like my crime.
It really could have been.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like it had, like, the subtlety that it can be dark, especially with the butcher lady.
Oh, yeah, oh.
That's about it.
When I saw that in the trailer, saw the butcher lady and the guy all strapped up, I was like, oh, this game's gonna get fucking brutal. And then when you get to the scene, it's just kind of like, oh, well.
Too much.
Yeah, it's like, I've seen worse in, like, I saw worse in, like, what was that fucking game? The 8-bit one that's... Oh, Hotline Miami. Where you poke a guy's eyes out and shit.
I think that's the worst, though. Like, you're bashing, like, heads in or whatever.
Yeah, you're bashing heads in. God, I love that game. That just gives me a murder bone every time I play. I'm like, oh, thank God. I just, I want more. I kind of want it to be in better resolution, too. I want it to be like 3D graphics and me doing the exact same thing. It'd be cool. Anyways, yeah, that's like the most lame story I can put out there, but yeah. That's about as short a story I can get on this show. Yeah, it's coming to Xbox and PS4. October 10th. I hope you like it. It's gonna have 24 DLC packs, and they say tuned gameplay, so it makes me wonder what they changed. Because honestly, I didn't think it had bad gameplay. I thought it was pretty
like
tight.
60 frames per second or whatever. Like making the fighting more tighter or whatever. I don't know.
They are upgrading the audio and the visuals. Which visuals, thank God. Audio, I'm like...
That's the point.
Yeah. Well, you would say that, but I heard recently about the Halo HD or the Halo collection for the Xbox One that Halo 4 and Halo 3 are not getting an upres. They're just gonna be like their 720 versions of themselves.
Really?
And I'm like, no!
If you're gonna update like Halo 2, like...
Oh yeah, they updated Halo 2, and they're gonna have the Halo HD Anniversary Edition on there. And my whole thinking is like, make all that shit 1080. That's the whole point. I mean, if anything, if you're gonna recharge me for the same games, at least make it slightly better than the original.
Hey, by the way, have you seen those Blur Studio cinematics for Halo 2? I'm just
no.
I want to buy it now.
No, I haven't seen Halo 2 coming out for like the 360, and I haven't had a good reason to buy an Xbox One yet. I have to give myself like 5 games in order for me to actually make a purchase for an Xbox One. And so far I've had one exclusive that I'd actually want to play, and that's Rise.
Yeah, and Rise is kind of short too, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have one game, actually, and Dead Rising.
The games are actually worth it.
I mean, they have 2 exclusives that I can't get on my, PS4 that I actually want to play. And that was their launch exclusives. Because anything coming out now, like, ooh, Halo HD, I'm like, no, I don't want to, I could play Halo 2 if I want to. What about Sunset Overdrive? No.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to play Sunset Overdrive. What about, throw something else at him. What about that Kinect game where you get to play Project Natar or whatever the fuck that thing is called? I forget the name of it, but it's the one where you get to create your own video game with Conker in it. Mm. And I'm thinking, like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, that one.
I don't want to play that game either.
That one just pissed me off. I'm sorry. Going back to it.
Okay. What's another piece of news you got?
Thailand's military rulers banned Tropico 5 as a threat to national security.
Wait, what is?
Tropico 5. It's like I think it's a management game.
Yeah, it's like you get to play as a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
How is it a national threat to security?
Well, I'll just read the article. It says, like,
okay.
Thailand's military government, which seized control of the country in May, banned a video game that allows players to take on the role of a dictator of an island. But, okay, blah, 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 okay.
So wait, which country is banning this?
Thailand.
Oh.
Yeah. Saying it's, like, tyrannical and all that kind of stuff.
I guess I can understand it. I don't see how anyone's going to be playing.
No, I'm just freaking out over it.
Okay.
But on the other side, BioShock's coming to the iPad.
Yay! If you have an iPad and you like playing with really shitty controls, congratulations! My back with the Tropico thing though, I have to say this little short Brandon rant of, I'm getting really sick and tired of people not understanding how video games are, like what the fuck they are, because you think by now when we have entire generations, I grew up with video games, like basically my entire life. I don't even have a memory where I didn't have a console in my house. And yet, people still think that it has that kind of mentality over people where someone would be playing Tropico, because, so many fucking people are lining up to play fucking Tropico and thinking, I think I'm gonna just take over this entire country, or attempt to, and then become a dictator, because that's how reality works. Fuck you! I hate to get angry about this, but I'm serious. I'm sick and tired of these old fucking people who don't understand how video games work.
Or just people who don't play video games in general, overreacting.
I understand, if someone doesn't play video games, and they just don't want to, that's cool. I know, it's just like, there's people, everyone has their preference. Some people like TV, some people like movies. I happen to be an asshole who likes all three. And, some people like, working out and shit, whatever. Some people have their preferences. But to sit there and say that this has this effect on people when there are literally probably a couple billion, and this is me being very, very polite about this, people on this planet who play video games or have played a video game and have not just played a video game and sat there and said, I just got done playing Grand Theft Auto. I think I'm going to go kill people. Like, no one has that mentality. If you're going to kill people, you're just going to fucking kill people. Sorry, we get, this comes up every now and again about these countries that banned a video game because it's violent or, because they're afraid
Started with Doom, so.
Oh, God, I know. And it just drives me nuts. Honestly, I think if, back in the 90s when Doom was released and people got all up in arms about it, I'll be a little bit more understanding. Video games are they were seen as a children's toy for a long time, and all in the 80s it was a children's thing. And then Doom kind of started introducing it to adults, and people are like, well, wait, this is supposed to be for kids.
That's because of the Columbine shooting, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
They uncovered, the shooters have played Doom a lot or whatever.
They played Doom. They also blamed Marilyn Manson and all that shit. They blamed anything.
Yeah.
Instead of just blaming, the unattentive parents that didn't realize that kids were building bombs in the basement. Yeah. They don't. Which, by the way,
did you guys ever talk about, those two, 12-year-old girls that, stabbed, some other girl, blamed Slender Man on it?
I think we mentioned it and just made a joke out of it and said that's just fucking natural selection. Like the same thing I'm doing now with the people lighting themselves on fire. I'm just sitting there saying, it's just fucking natural selection. If you're dumb enough to, kill yourself or something. Granted, the Slender Man thing where I don't know what the fuck, they were just crazy people.
No, I think they just wanted to blame something.
I don't know. It was just
trying to make people act crazy.
It's just fear-mongering bullshit is all it is. Just something to blame, because we can't just say someone's crazy. Apparently that cop-out's just gone now. Someone just might have mental disabilities of some sort. That's not a thing anymore. Like, hey, the woman who ran inside a McDonald's without a top on and started throwing shit because she wanted, apple pies. Maybe she played the latest Batman game. Maybe she played Arkham Origins, and that's what made her do it. Let's just fucking play video games for everything. We can't just say people have a mental fucking illness. Hey, kids lighting themselves on fire. Maybe they read the Fantastic Four too many times and wanted to become the Human Torch. Because we can't just say people are fucking stupid. Sorry, I try.
No, it's fine.
I try not to get on these, where I just get thoroughly all pissed off, but, sometimes it's just some people are just fucking stupid. Alright?
You don't understand.
I know. Some people are sick in the head. Some people just want to kill people. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna derail myself here. By the way, fun facts, the sequel to Rise of Son of Rome. Yeah, woohoo. Hey, Brandon, how about you put a segue in the middle there? No, we're gonna jump off the bridge and just go for it. Yeah, right, Son of Rome 2. It's been canceled. Why, you ask? Crytek says, hey, our sales numbers were dick. Yeah, we were thinking that maybe, making exclusive and making it look kind of cool for everybody. Hell, you got me excited for it. You made it look cool for me. I like Roman video games. And they thought the Xbox One was going to sell more, but it didn't. And they're kind of not 100% happy with it. And they say, Xbox doesn't have it. Microsoft has no decision whether or not they do a sequel. This is purely Crytek. So, it's not officially canceled. I say it's been canceled, but they're not announced. They're kind of it's in that gray, middle area where it might just float around in the nether space forever. They're just gonna wait. And
they're like, you like Homefront 2? Well, we gotta pass it on to someone else now.
Kind of. What they are saying though is, if they make a Rise 2, they're most likely gonna release it on the PS4 and the Xbox One. They're just this exclusivity shit did not work out for them in the slightest. And that's what we're seeing more often than not, in my opinion, just in general, is the lack of exclusive titles. I mean, how many exclusive titles did I name for the PS4? 3? And then same thing with the Xbox One, they had maybe 4. I mean, exclusive titles are just stupid nowadays. It's just, why make your title exclusive? You can make so much more money just making it out for all platforms. You put it out for the PC, you put it out for the Xbox One, put it out for the PS4. Shit. You put it out for the PS3 and Xbox 360. You have all 6 of those platforms right there. You just made a dick ton of money right there. Because at least, you keep expanding your audience, limiting your audience, especially to Xbox One, which is doing, not too hot in the sales even now. Even though they put it down to $400, still not competing with that PS4. It just didn't help out. I don't know. You have any thought about this whole, them saying, yeah, we're not making another exclusive for these guys?
Well, I think, yeah, it's better off just to be third party, just working for all the others or whatever. But
I know. I understand that Microsoft may have dumped down, a
well,
truckload
you said
of money.
$400 for an Xbox One, but then again, it's $400 that you're laying down, so.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm not a lot. You need Xbox One would need more exclusives to get banned.
Are you
right
gonna
now,
play Call of Duty Ghosts? What are you gonna play now?
Yeah, but yeah, they're kind of they're thinking about it, and then the article eventually starts talking about them bringing back the Time Splitter series, which whoa, hey, throwback.
They've been saying that for
freaking
decades, man. I mean.
Yeah, they mentioned bringing back Time Splitters. I'm yeah, you know what? I kind of lost any interest in Time Splitters after 2, so bring it back if you want. I may go back to it. That game was so interesting. That game had an interesting enough premise, though. Just go through history and kill things. And do you have one more news story?
No, nothing.
All right.
But it's like slow news. So.
Yeah, no, it's still slow news week.
Slow news month, really.
Slow news month. Last couple months have been pretty slow, but anyways, we didn't have any video game questions for the most part. When we do our movie thing, I'll address the Mr. Nerdback Mike. You sent us a wonderful question or thing about about my Transformers review and trying to defend the haters on it because I kind of got pissed about it. And we'll discuss that next time we do the movie thing. And same thing with all the comments on the movie reviews saying like, oh, I agree and disagree. We'll just discuss those when they come. We just keep it, keep the movies where the movies are, video games where video games are. We, as video game podcasts, we don't get any video game stuff. That's the main reason why I keep all the movies. So, so that is everybody. Thanks for listening. We're not done doing it. We're just,
just back from the dead.
Yeah, back from the dead. We'll do it as much as we can. Don't expect this to be. I'm just going to tell you right now, guys. Don't expect it to be every Friday. Shit pops up. Shit happens. People get busy. Mike might get busy. I might get busy. Scotty, he's. I'm not even going to lie. He keeps trying to get a job at PBS, and he's working his ass off trying to get with them. He's applying his ass off doing that. Me personally, I'm trying to get a job working for websites, so I'm doing a lot more writing as of late. And don't expect to see Nick anymore, or the lovable asshole. He decided he likes to diddle puppies in their sleep. So
what's going on? Where's this babies, touching babies in his underwear? Now it's
I don't know. I had to make up the worst shit possible. That's what he gets for dogging out on me like that, for just saying, I don't feel like doing it anymore. It's cool on him. It's not like I was paying him to do it. But, I gotta be a dick about it. And Nikki G kind of wants to hang out in the background. He's kind of the guy who, basically made the website. He's the guy he does all our art and stuff. So he kind of wants to hang out in the background. So I'll let him hang out in the background for a little while. If he wants to come back, he'll come back. But anyways, thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
As long as you enjoy doing it, we'll keep doing it. Yeah.
I just don't know when. So.
Yeah, like I say, just let me know when, and we'll do it. So, guys, it'll be it might become a once a month treat just to hear our asses come back and be like, hey, here's sporadic angry Brandon, and here's calm, cool, collective Mike. Here's weird ass Scott. You never know what you'll get. So, thanks again, people. We're not done. We're just gonna, we got our lives to live, so don't blame us. Running podcasts ain't the, most, it's not like, I got 5 minutes to kill. Let's do a podcast. So anyways, that is everybody. Thanks again, everyone. Good night.